A short first flying phase from feet to hands makes it difficult to create an effective second flying phase from hands to feet. Short undercut first flying phases cause the hands to touch the floor with poor body angles to make a quick arms repulsion into a powerful turnover to the feet. Before bad technical habits get too ingrained, it is wise to spend time reviewing basic drills, like this one and many others. Coaches must train their eyes to catch all kinds of big and small mistakes. In these undercut examples, the gymnast shows more turnover power. He is still missing a proper hands placement to block and repulse the floor effectively. Even minor mistakes deserve time and effort to be corrected. Every skill must be refined to the maximum. Deep squats slow down and diminish the explosive power to begin the back handsprings. Though there are slight personal differences in general, the bend in the knees must not even reach a 90-degree angle. Deep squats and undercuts together weaken the back handspring immensely. Serious basic drill reviews must be a priority. Notice that there is not a second flying phase due to the lack of the blocking and arms repulsion. On the next few clips, a different gymnast offers examples of some of the basic back handspring mistakes already mentioned. An undercut with poor blocking repulsion and pike turnover. A much longer and nice back handspring example with good hands to feet turnover. Second flying phase example with an incorrect pike turnover. Much better hollow body turnover. Deep squat with very poor blocking and arms repulsion. Deep squats slow down and weaken the jumping power. Though it looks somewhat better, still the power damaging mistakes must be addressed and corrected. Deep squat and undercut. A much better slight bent knees power jump and a longer handspring. Another undercut example. Deep squat and no arms block or quick repulsion. A squat. The body is too far past the vertical to block off the floor with effective arms repulsion and hollow turnover. Check this much better second flying phase turnover. Preparation. Tight arch first flying phase. Deep hollow second flying phase. There are some spotting techniques and mistakes that coaches must be aware of. For back handsprings, it seems to work better one hand spotting the gymnast's lower back and the other on the hamstring. If the gymnast is swinging the arms, the hand spotting the hamstring moves in place when the arm swing is going up, as not to interfere with the arm's motion. Placing a hand up on the far shoulder and the other on the lower back makes it harder for the gymnast to rotate. The spotter does not have any control to help the gymnast in trouble or falling down fast. Both hands on the legs is also very unsafe spotting. The coach does not have any ability to carry the gymnast up and around if they are falling, nor can he slow them. A hand placed on the nearest side of the waist does not allow spotting control to lift up the gymnast or protect them if they are falling down. Placing the hand on the far side of the lower back and waist is much more effective. Here is a fair hand placement for a back handspring spot if the gymnast was not swinging the arms down to begin the skill. When the gymnast swings the arms, the hands move to the hamstring right after the arm swing starts going up. The heavier and more inexperienced the gymnast, the more a spotter must support the lower back and far side of the waist. Placing the hand on the near side of the waist is unsafe and ineffective. Placing it on the middle may be okay for more advanced gymnasts needing a very light spotter or just a boost of confidence. Safer spot for gymnasts beginning to learn the back handspring. Very ineffective. Okay for light or experienced gymnasts. and again the safest spot for the less experienced ones. Only for certain drills with very light gymnasts is in the following examples, where the coach is teaching the young athlete how to get into a tight arch back handspring first flying phase. If the gymnast is having problems showing a tight arch and the coach is confident of being able to handle the gymnast's weight, he places a hand on the upper back reaching toward the further shoulder area while keeping the other hand on the hamstring. When the gymnast jumps back, the coach stops the motion in midair to allow the athlete to position her body in the correct shape. If the coach is spotting on the left side of the gymnast, his right hand goes on the upper back to the far shoulder area and his left hand spots on the closer hamstring. This drill also allows the gymnast to work on her head position during the first flying phase. The head should not be stuck all the way down forward, nor should it be all the way out backwards. It is more desirable to aim for a neutral head position or just slightly out in the flying direction. To master the second flying phase from hands to feet, the gymnast must practice different drills because this one does not offer a good opportunity for arms repulsion. No coach should attempt this kind of spotting with gymnasts whose weight they have not tested first by lifting them from a standing position to a tight arch without any jumping back. For the large majority of gymnasts learning standing back handsprings, the coach must spot standing up himself and placing his hands on the middle or far side of the gymnast's lower back and the close hamstring. A coach may decide to kneel down only to spot very light or small gymnasts so he can reach under their weight better. A coach should never attempt to spot from a sitting position because he will be unable to follow the gymnast's motions and move himself quickly and effectively too. Starting to teach back handsprings without arm swings may help the gymnast to get used to keeping the arms closer to the head in the early learning stages. Plus, it can save the coach a couple of face slaps. Place the gymnast on a position as if they were coming from a round-off or another back handspring. Because this gymnast is light and already knows the skill, the hand spotting the lower back is placed on the middle instead of farther across. Coaches must only spot back handsprings from kneeling when the gymnast is so light that their weight can be handled easily from this spotting position. When spotting new gymnasts on back handsprings, we must keep our head further back away from them to avoid getting hit if they open the arms too much. The gymnast may get used to keeping the arms closer by practicing swing drills and some spotted standing back handsprings without swinging the arms. Once we are relatively sure that the gymnast is not going to throw the arms out too open, we can add the arm swing to their spotted back handsprings. This gymnast is trying to master a hollow turnover second flying phase instead of just piking it down. Coaches may use every training opportunity to help establish good posture habits like standing up with the stomach area in and the buttocks tucked in too. Starting with a hollow instead of totally straight back allows for a more explosive upper body range of motion and mimics an effective way to connect back tumbling skills like a round off to back handspring, a handspring to another handspring, or to different types of somersaults. Some beginner gymnasts tend to tuck their back handspring first flying phase from feet to hands. In cases like this, they need to return to perform back handsprings with a spot and train some drills where they experience the full extension of the knees when jumping or rebounding off the floor, plus the tight arch position required during the back handspring first flying phase. Swinging both arms tilted to one side and twisting the body on that direction, as if the gymnasts were trying to look over their shoulder to see where their body is going instead of keeping it square, is another common back handspring mistake. Barrel back handsprings may help the gymnast to work out the problem, emphasizing to feel their backs landing on the barrel square and without turning the head sideways. Also, training back handspring setups with a spot can help to solve the problem. Double bouncing forward to begin the back handspring does not add any significant power. It complicates the skill and detracts the gymnast's mind from focusing on the correct body motions to accomplish the skill. In this slow motion replay, notice several other mistakes such as elbows bent when the arms swing and when the hands touch the floor. And of course there was no blocking and arms repulsion. Coaches must always search for and apply a variety of drills to enrich the gymnast's learning process, increase their growing body awareness, and their skills execution mastery.